Hello, this is the Captain Paxo, and this is some more Dark Souls 3 PvP, but this time it's gonna be something a little bit different. So quick too long didn't watch. I am talking about how I really don't think that we need to nerf the Dark Sword and the estoc, and instead we as a community must get good enough at fighting these weapons so that people stop using them instead of nerfing them to oblivion. So case in point, this guy is using a Dark Sword, but it isn't exactly going to go his way. Like, yes, the Dark Sword has decent damage, good range and good speed, but the thing is, I have hyper armor as well as good damage and good range. And he likes to R1 mash, so I'm just going to parry him, right? So do these weapons need to, like, be nerfed? No, because they can be countered. I'm proving right here that this weapon can be fought, and there's a clip at the end where I fight a Dark Sword as well. And I beat him. Again, the Dark Sword can be countered. It is not unbeatable, which is why I don't think it needs a nerf. You know? Like the Monastery Scimitar and like the parry evade from Dark Souls 2, that needed to be nerfed because you couldn't fight it. All people would do is wait for you to swing and they'd parry it every single time. That definitely needed to be nerfed because you couldn't fight it. But this, you can fight it. I've just proven that you can fight it, right? And I'll prove it again at the end of the video. So does it need a nerf? No, we just need to learn how to fight it, right? Because you can learn how to fight it, and if you can... It's like if you can fight it, you can beat it. You know, it's the same mentality of if it bleeds, you can kill it. If you can fight it, you can beat it. But this whole like let's nerf it kind of mentality, I feel like that was born from Dark Souls 1. You know, when everybody was running around with a claymore and stun locking people to death. People called it like dishonorable or whatever. You know, oh, you're dishonorable, you stun lock, or you're dishonorable, you like use a hornet ring in a 2v1, or backstab, or whatever it was. If someone didn't like something that you did, they would call you dishonorable. And all it really is this mask, which is quite easy to tell. Like you can quite easily see like that it's a mask that's saying, I don't know how to fight this. Therefore, I'm gonna put the weight of my death on your shoulders because you used something that's scummy, you know? The only reason you won is because you were using this bullshit tactic. It's exactly the same thing, you know? Oh, you only won because you were using an estoc, you know? Well, you don't know that. If they were... well, sometimes you do. But, like, what you're basically saying is, like, the only reason you won is because From Software doesn't know how to balance their game. Which is such a cowardly thing to say if you think about it. It's like, you know, you only won because the developers don't know how to balance their game. It's that's what you're saying. Which is really, it's really cowardly because you're not able to accept the fact that you lost is your fault. You know, you're passing the blame onto someone else, but you're not just passing it onto your opponent. You're passing it onto the developers of the game, people you've never even met. That was quite a nice firebomb. In fact, it was so cool. We're gonna have to have it in slow motion. Get off that cliff. There you go. Gonna drink me some Sunny D. But you're passing it on to people you've never met, nor do you know. You know maybe like what, one or two of them? That's it? How could you pass blame onto someone you don't even know, you've never even encountered, not even in the game? It's just such a miserable thing to do, really. And it's kind of like, I guess it's because, you know, it's calling it dishonorable. No one really cares. No one will jump on the bandwagon of, oh, this is dishonorable, let's like not use it, because then, let's be honest, especially in random invasions, nobody's gonna follow this honor code, because in random invasions you're trying to kill your opponent, you know? It's like I'm trying to punish this guy for parry spamming. So instead what you do is you say, oh, this needs to be nerfed, which everyone can quite comfortably get on the bandwagon of, because it's not using this silly self-employed honor system, you know. It's just saying this game isn't working the way it should be. Let's point that out, you know. It's no longer up to the community, which I really think it is up to the community. I think. I keep saying I think a lot, because I am doing a lot of thinking, but I'm also getting a lot of getting hit quite a lot. But like I said earlier in the video, there are counters to the Dark Sword and the estoc. You know, just take like Dark Project Mayhem's heavy metal video, where he used the spiked mace, just completely eviscerating these Dark Sword users and these estoc users with the Carthus Rogue spiked mace. He'd use the hyper armor to get the first hit on, and then he'd do the 4-hit combo and instantly bleed them. And then you got Martyr's Brigade's videos in Dark Souls 3, where he's using just the standard mace, just the standard out-of-the-box mace, and he's using Perseverance, and he uses Perseverance to a very good effect, and completely annihilates these Dark Sword users. And as I said, once again, if you can fight it, you can beat it. These weapons are punishable, you can beat them. So do they need to be nerfed? No. I'm going around in circles here, I know. Hopefully there's a point to it at the end of the tunnel. I guess we'll find out. So let's not put the blame onto the developers for not knowing how to balance their weapons. I think this game's really well balanced. As I get pounded into the ground. You can always tell when I'm really disappointed when I die, because I've just put down my controller at this point. Haven't even moved my camera. But let's not put the blame on the developers. Let's instead put the blame on ourselves, which is something that's very hard for people to do. It's like we're all egotistical. We're all egotistical, right? We all think that we're the best. You know, that's why when we die in this game, it kind of damages that ego, and we kind of feel like, oh, that shouldn't have happened. That's nonsense. There's no way I died. It's like of course I'm better than this person, you know? Of course I'm better than my opponent. Well, no, you're not, and you've kind of got to accept that. That's what Dark Souls is about. It's accepting that you're not better than the engine, but you learn how to fight the engine, and you can eventually beat the engine. It's exactly the same as the PvE, you know? The PvP is exactly the same as the PvE. You start off not knowing how to fight this, whatever this is, let's just say estoc, but then you learn how to fight it, you put it into practice, and eventually you can fight it consistently, and all of a sudden it's not a problem for you, right? That you get better. But of course there's always going to be times where you get caught out, just like in the PvE. It doesn't matter how good you are, if you will get caught out from time to time for playing sloppily. So, I mean, I'm someone who can always accept like defeat as my fault. I'm someone who blames myself like a lot. I consistently blame myself for things that have absolutely nothing to do with me, and it's a really bad habit, but that's something I do. Right, so I guess it's not too hard for me. When I die, I go, God damn it, I need to learn how to fight this weapon. But most people are not quite as self-depreciating as I am, I guess. Like, most people are like, there's no way I died. That's bullshit, and then they pass the blame onto the equipment that their opponent is using, which is really not the case. Like, sometimes it doesn't matter what weapon they're using, they're still gonna beat you. You know, like Yami Tamashi in Dark Souls 1. Like, if I ran into Yami, I would get obliterated in Dark Souls 1. There would be nothing I could do, just because he's better than me. It wouldn't have mattered if he was using a katana or a spear or a frickin' Black Knight Great Axe. He would still kick my ass consistently, you know? Because he's just that good. And I'm not. right? And I guess it's coming back once again to this whole message of stop blaming the equipment your opponent is using and start blaming yourself. Start learning how to fight it, you know, get a buddy, tell them to use this weapon and just spam with it, and sit there and learn how to fight it, you know? That was quite a nice firebomb as well. I'm getting good with these firebombs, I really am. But, you know, I guess that's pretty much all I have to say, is we need to learn how to get better. And I've been saying it over and over again, and I do apologise for repeating the same thing, but this is something that I've had problems with since Dark Souls 1, you know? Since I started PvPing, and I kind of got into the mentality, well, I managed to escape the mentality of, like, worrying about honour. Because you just get so caught up in it. And actually, here's the thing, like, if you get caught up in, like, calling something, like, broken or dishonourable or whatever, if you get so caught up in that, you just don't have that much fun. You really don't. If you get caught up in getting angry at stuff, you can never have fun. You know? Like, these guys, they're probably getting really frustrated with my heavy weapon. You know, they're probably getting really frustrated with me interrupting their attacks, especially the host, because I've been doing that consistently to him. He's getting really frustrated. So he's not having a lot of fun. You know? But if you just sort of let go of that frustration and you kind of just sort of go, you know, whatever, it's not that big of a deal, then all of a sudden you can have a lot more fun. Surprising, isn't it? You know? Like, just try it. Next time you fight someone, whether it be in just a random invasion or in a duel, and someone's using like a dark sword or whatever, just say to yourself, do you know what? Whatever. Let's just see if we can't make something fun happen here. Or be like, okay, sweet, I can get my parry practice in, or my dark sword counter skills in. Just forget about your win-loss, forget about, oh, that weapon's so bullshit, you only won because it's broken, it needs to be nerfed. That's not true. They didn't win because that weapon is broken, they won because you suck at fighting it. And I will be the first to admit, I suck at fighting fast weapons with another fast weapon. You know, I just suck at fighting straight swords in general. It doesn't matter if you're using the dark sword or the Aerothil straight sword or even the broken straight sword. You know, I bet someone could give me a good ass kicking with the broken straight sword. I bet you. In fact, if by some chance you meet me in one of my general haunting grounds or whatever, just if you meet me and pull out a broken straight sword, see if you can kill me, because you probably could. That would be interesting. I'll definitely show it off. Man, Soriga's got so much health. He doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but he's got a ton of health. My god. I think this host has got a dark sword as well, so another case in point. You know? Like, just because you have the dark sword doesn't mean you're instantly going to win. And if it means you're not going to instantly gonna win, then how can it be broken, you know? It's like if you're using like even like karmic justice, like a glass cannon karmic justice in Dark Souls 1, you can fight it, you can just run away from it if you know what it is. It's not broken. I mean, if you fight it, then you're gonna get one shot, but if you don't, then it's not going to do anything to you. I guess that's all I have to say. I really do apologise for this whole ramble of a video. I gotta start writing stuff down so I don't keep repeating the same thing over and over again. But that's another Dark Sword kill, or killing of a Dark Sword user. Thank you very much for watching if you've made it this far, and I will catch you